Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to every one of you who subscribes to my channel. Thank you all so much, I really appreciate it. Join the Legion over on Patreon for free and help decide next week's new character. We're heading back to Street Fighter with Balrog versus Jury. It's time once again to head to the dark world of Makai. From the Darkstalkers series, it's Lord Raptor. In his life, Zebel Zarek was considered the god of metal and the greatest rock star of all time. That is, until he vanished, or so people thought. After his disappearance, it was discovered his newest album was in fact an ancient evil tome. With evil magic sewed into the lyrics, Zarbel sacrificed the souls of all those who attended his final concert. Zarbel was then reborn as Lord Raptor, an undead servant of Emperor Ozam. Tasked with killing Darkstalkers who opposed the Demon Lord, Raptor secretly planned to kill Ozam and take his throne. But all this came to an end when the true ruler of Makai returned. Now an undead assassin and monster hunter, Raptor has been gifted with numerous abilities. These abilities allow him to transform his body parts into weapons, from bone spikes to chainsaws, teleport, use sound and electricity as weapons, transform his sidekick into various weapons like chainsaws again, make himself appear human, stretch various body parts, and finally, he can transform his enemies into a basketball. Oddly enough, not the weirdest power in the Darkstalkers series. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. We're using standard point array to make things easy for you if you use another system, and we are multi-classing, but they use the same stats, so no worries. We're going to start things off with Charisma at 50. You are considered the greatest heavy metal rock star of all time. You don't get that title by just wearing leather. Con will follow with 14. You are an undead assassin. Doubt Ozam gave you bad health. Though Jeddah was too much for you, but he is a death god / blood demon. Can't fault you for not living up to that. Dex comes in with 13. I say this a lot, but you're in a fighting game. AC is your friend. Intelligence will be 12. You may seem like a crass, egotistical narcissist, but you know how to make a plan. I mean, seriously, you spent your entire career tricking people into preparing themselves to be a sacrifice. That takes a lot of planning. Finally, strength will be 10 and we're dumping wisdom. I would like strength to be higher, but we'll use a better stat for combat, and you may be smart but you make bad decisions. Please refer to my Jeddah comment. Raptor is undead, reborn, found in Van Richten's can be that. Trust me, it can actually be a lot of things: undead, construct, created life, even a Time Lord. Yes, it can work for Doctor Who. No, I am not making the Doctor. I make enough childish narcissists who can't learn from their mistakes. I don't need the poster child for it. Yeah, I said it, come at me. Place +2 into Con and +1 into Dex. Ancestral Legacy grants you 2 skills from your previous life. Grab Persuasion and Performance. Deathless Nature makes you harder to kill. Re-kill. You have advantage on death saving throws, advantage against poisons and diseases, resistance to poison damage, you don't breathe, and you don't eat or drink. You don't sleep, can't be put to sleep magically. Your long rests are 4 hours where you remain motionless but aware. Knowledge from a past life grants you a d6 to any skill check you make. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Finally, to end out your lineage, you know 2 languages, Common and 1 other. I would go with either Infernal or Abyssal. In fact, you know what, it doesn't matter. You get both in a second. For background, grab the skills Intimidation and Religion. For your bonus proficiencies, take whatever evil language you didn't take before and grab a musical instrument proficiency. I'd say guitar or whatever instrument is closest in your DM setting. Okay, you sold your soul. You all know where we're starting. Level 1 Warlocks start off with 2 skills. Take Arcana and Deception. You're proficient in light armor, simple weapons, and the saving throws Wisdom and Charisma. Otherworldly Patron is the source of your power. Hexblade from Xanathar's makes you the killer of killers. Ex-Warrior gives you proficiency in medium armor, shields, and all weapons. You can also bond with a weapon to improve your skills. At the end of a long rest, you can touch one weapon that you're proficient with that lacks the two-handed property. You can now use your Charisma modifier for attack and damage. This lasts until you finish a long rest, but you can rebond with it at the end of your next one. Hexblade's curse Curse lets you mark your targets with a curse. With a bonus action, you choose one creature within 30 feet of you, and for the next minute they are cursed. While cursed, your attacks against them gain bonus damage equal to your proficiency bonus, you crit against them on 19 or 20, and when they die, you regain HP equal to your Warlock level plus your Charisma modifier. You can do this once per short or long rest. Pact Magic makes you a fake spellcaster. I'll explain that later. You regain all used spell slots at the end of a short or long rest, you have limited spell slots, and you start off with 2 cantrips and 2 first level spells. For your spells, Booming Blade wraps your weapon in sound. With an action, you attack with your weapon against a creature within 5 feet. Should you hit, the sound enters their body. Should they willingly move before your next turn, the sound explodes, dealing 1d8 thunder damage. Eldritch Blast sends a wave of sound out to 120 feet and deals 1d10 force damage on a hit. Shield adds +5 to your AC for 1 turn with a reaction and stops magic missile from hitting you. Hex lets you curse a target even more. With a bonus action, you can curse a creature within 90 feet. For the next hour, while you maintain the spell, you will deal a bonus 1d6 necrotic damage on a hit. Also, when you curse them, you choose one skill, and while the spell is active, they have disadvantage on that skill. If they drop to 0 HP before the hour is up, you can transfer the curse to another creature within 90 feet with a bonus action. Alright, we need a little bit more magical power, so let's jump classes. Level 1 Sorcerers begin with a Sorceress Origin. This is the source of your powers, just like Otherworldly Patron. Makai is a world of darkness, so we're taking Shadow Magic, also from Xanathar's Guide. Eyes of the Dark gives you dark vision out to 120 feet. Strength of the Grave makes you slightly harder to kill. Even more. Now when you drop to 0 HP, you can make a Charisma saving throw. This DC is 5 plus the damage taken. If you pass, you drop to 1 HP instead. You can't do this if the damage is radiant or a crit, and you can only do this once per long rest. Spellcasting makes you a real spellcaster. Allow me to explain the difference. Normally when you multi-class, you have to figure out how many spell slots you have, but Pact Magic isn't spellcasting. You have Warlock spell slots and your normal spell slots. Any spell you cast with the Warlock spell slots will be a Warlock spell, even if you get them from Sorcerer, and vice versa. The only thing you need to worry about is your spellcasting focus, but for right now, your focus is the same for both. You regain used spell slots at the end of a long rest, and you start off with 4 cantrips and 2 first level spells. For your spells, Shocking Grasp is a melee spell attack that lets you deal 1d8 lightning damage when you hit, and cause them to lose reactions until the start of your next turn. Lightning Lure lets you create a whip of lightning and attack someone within 15 feet. You force a strength save, and if they fail, they are pulled 10 feet towards you. If they get within 5 feet of you, they receive 1d8 lightning damage. Thunderclap lets you emit a blast of sound, forcing a con save on everyone within 5 feet of you, dealing 1d6 thunder damage on a failure. Witch Bolt unleashes a blast of lightning at a creature within 30 feet. If you hit, you deal 1d12 lightning damage and can now maintain the spell for 1 minute. While the spell is active, you can use your action to deal 1d12 lightning damage automatically. The spell ends early if they move more than 30 feet from you or get behind total cover. Thunder Wave lets you send out a blast of sound in front of you in a 15-foot cube. Each creature within the cube must make a con save or take 2d8 thunder damage and be pushed away from you by 10 feet. You get 1 more cantrip, but frankly I think we're good. Go ahead and choose whatever you want. Level 2 Warlocks gain Eldritch Invocations. These are special features that give you free spells or augment. You get 2 at this level. For your invocations, Armor of Shadows lets you cast Mage Armor without a spell slot or components. This gives you an AC of 13 plus Dex when not wearing armor for 8 hours. Mask of Many Faces lets you cast Disguise Self without a spell slot. This lets you cover yourself in an illusion for 1 hour, making you appear like someone else. This illusion can make you 1 foot shorter or taller, but can get you extra limbs, and it's just an illusion. For your new spell, Cause Fear awakens the dread within someone within 60 feet. Forcing a wisdom save should they fail, they are now frightened of you for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. A frightened creature cannot willingly move towards what is frightening it, and all attacks and skill checks are made at disadvantage when it can see you. They can repeat the save at the end of each of their turns and attempt to end the spell. Level 3 Warlocks receive a Pact Boon. This is a special gift from your patron. This was a little difficult because technically you have a familiar, but he's not important. Let's go with Pact of the Blade. You can now magically create any weapon. You can combine this with Hex Warrior to use your charisma for attack and damage, and you can ignore the rules against two-handed weapons. May I suggest a great axe? That is also a guitar. That's pretty metal. Normally your preferred weapon is a chainsaw, but that would be a homebrewed with your DM. With an action, you can store the weapon in an extra dimensional space and summon it with an action. You can also bond with a magic weapon after spending 1 hour with it. Your Warlock spell slots are now upgraded to 2nd level. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 4 Warlocks earn our first ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Fey Touched from Tasha's adds +1 to charisma and gives you 2 spells. For these spells, Misty Step is a 30-foot teleportation you can make with a bonus action. Bane can curse up to 3 creatures within 30 feet of you by forcing a charisma save. Should they fail, they must subtract 1d4 from any attack roll or saving throw for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. You can cast both of these spells without a spell slot once per long rest or with spell slots. For your new spell, Shatter unleashes a massive burst of sound out to 60 feet. Within this range, you can create a 10-foot radius sphere, forcing a con save on everyone within. Should they fail, they take 3d8 thunder damage. You gain a new cantrip as well. Have fun choosing. Your character level 5 now, this is big for you. First, your proficiency bonus is now +3. Lightning Lure, Thunderclap, and Shocking Grass now deal 2 damage dice each. Booming Blade now does an extra 1d8 thunder damage on the hit, and 2d8 thunder damage should they willingly move. And Eldritch Blast now fires 2 blasts with a single action. Level 5 Warlocks gain a new invocation. For this invocation, Thirsting Blade lets you attack twice with your packed weapon with a single attack action. You also get your Warlock spell slots upgraded again to 3rd level. For your new spell, Elemental Weapon charges your weapon for 1 hour while you maintain this spell. While active, you choose an elemental type like lightning or thunder damage, and now your attacks deal an extra 1d4 damage of the chosen type. Level 2 Sorcerers receive Font of Magic. This gives you sorcery points that equal your sorcery level between long rest. You can use these points right now to regain spell slots or burn spell slots to regain points. You'll be able to do more next level. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 3 Sorcerers now have Meta Magic. This lets you spend sorcery points to augment your spells. For your Meta Magic, Quicken Spell turns 1 spell with a casting time of 1 action into a bonus action for 2 sorcery points. Remember, you can only cast 1 spell each turn unless 1 is a cantrip and a bonus action. Distant Spell lets you double the distance of a spell that is over 5 feet for 1 sorcery point, or gives a spell a range of touch a range of 30 feet. You also now have 2nd level spells. But before we get to what spell you can take, your Eyes of Darkness is upgraded to give you the spell Darkness. This creates a 15-foot radius sphere of magical darkness out to 60 feet that you must maintain for 10 minutes. You can also spend 2 sorcery points to cast this spell, and now you can see through the magical darkness. For your final sorcerer spell, Alter Self transforms you. Now for 1 hour while you maintain this spell, you can do one of 3 things. You can give yourself a swimming speed, make yourself look like anyone, and finally turn body parts into weapons. These weapons are magical, +1 to attack and damage, deal 1d6 damage of a chosen type. Low on the pole of your abilities, but you can do this in the game, so I'm giving it to you here. Level 6 Hexblade Warlocks gain the one feature that's pretty hit or miss for me. A Cursed Spectre lets you enslave the soul of someone you kill for a brief period of time. When you slay a humanoid, you create a Spectre, found on page 279 of the Monster Manual. This Spectre has temporary HP that equals your Warlock level, and gains a bonus to attack rolls that are equal to your Charisma modifier. The Spectre obeys your commands and stays with you until you finish a long rest or it dies, and you can only use this feature once per long rest. For your new spell, Fear unleashes a 30-foot cone from you and forces a wisdom save on everyone within the cone. Should they fail, they become frightened of you for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. They also drop everything they are holding and must now use their actions to run away from you. They can only retake the save when they break line of sight from you. Your character level 9 now, boost up your proficiency bonus again to +4. Level 7 Warlocks receive a new invocation. For this invocation, Improved Packed Weapon adds +1 to your packed weapon's attack and damage, and your packed weapon is now your spellcasting focus for your Warlock spells. You can also make it a ranged weapon if you want, but it doesn't magically create ammunition, so you're going to need the ammo, but who cares? Great Axe. Your Warlock spell slots are now upgraded to 4th level. For your new spell, Dimension Door is a 500-foot teleportation to a place you can describe or see. If you teleport into something, the spell fails and you take 46 force damage. Level 8 Warlocks earn another ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Warcaster from the Player's Handbook improves your spell casting. You now have advantage on con saves you make to maintain spells. You can cast spells with somatic components while holding a weapon with 2 hands, and you can cast a spell with a reaction when a creature provokes an attack of opportunity, as long as it only targets the creature that caused the opportunity attack. For your new spell, take what you want. Your character level 11 now, your cantrips upgrade again. Shocking Grass, Lightning Lure, and Thunderclap now deal 3 damage dice each. Eldritch Blast fires 3 times with a single action, and Booming Blade now does an extra 2d8 thunder damage on the original hit, and 3d8 thunder damage if they willingly move. Level 9 Warlocks have their spell slots upgraded to the highest level, 5th. Yeah, Warlocks can only go to 5th. For your new spell, Far Step is a beefed up Misty Step. You can now teleport 60 feet with a bonus action, and you can maintain the spell for 1 minute, teleporting each turn with a bonus action. Speaking of teleportation, you gain a new invocation. For this invocation, Relentless Hex allows you to teleport with a bonus action to be within 5 feet of someone you have cursed using your Hexblade's curse or the spell Hex when you can see them. Level 10 Hexblade Warlocks gain Armor of Hexes. Now when the target of Hexblade's curse attacks you, you can use your reaction to roll a d6. On a 4 or higher, the attack misses you regardless of what they rolled. You get your final cantrip at this level. Have fun choosing. Guess what? Your character level 13 now. Bring up your proficiency bonus to +5. Level 11 Warlocks receive their first Mystic Arcanum. This is a free spell that you can cast once per long rest that is higher than 5th level. For your first Arcanum, it's going to be at 6th level. Tasha's Otherworldly Guise unleashes your true form. Yes, the way you look in the game is not your true form. Now, we only see your true form once in a cutscene and sometimes in your victory poses. But screw it, you look awesome. With a bonus action, you transform for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. While transformed, you choose if you are from the upper or lower planes, and since you're demonic in this form, we're going to go with lower planes. While active, you are immune to fire and poison damage, immune to poison condition, you gain a flying speed of 40 feet, and you gain a 2+ to your AC. There are 2 more things, but your subclass and packed weapon already give that to you. For your new spell, take what you want. We do not need any more spells that aren't 5th level or lower. Level 12 Warlocks earn another ability score improvement, bump up Charisma. For your new invocation, Repelling Blast pushes a creature you hit with your Eldritch Blast back by 5 feet. Level 13 Warlocks gain another Arcanum, now at 7th level. For this Arcanum, Plane Shift allows you to teleport yourself and up to 8 willing creatures to another plane of existence, like the realm of Makai or whatever your DM decides is the preferred stand-in. You can also banish an unwilling creature to another plane with a melee spell attack that forces a Charisma save. This creature is permanently banished and must now find its own way back. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 14 Hexblade Warlocks receive their final subclass feature, Master of Hexes. When the target of your Hexblade's curse dies, you can now move the curse to a new target within 30 feet, but you will not gain the health from them dying. Your character level 17 now, and this is the big milestone. Firstly, your proficiency bonus is maxed out at +6. Shocking Grass, Lightning Lure, and Thunderclap now do 4 damage dice each. Eldritch Blast fires 4 times with a single action. And finally, Booming Blade now deals an extra 3d8 thunder damage on the hit and deals 4d8 thunder damage if they willingly move. Level 15 Warlocks gain another Arcanum, now at 8th level. For this Arcanum, power word stun targets a creature within 60 feet, and if they have 150 HP or lower, they are now stunned. A stunned creature cannot take actions or reactions, can't move, can barely speak, automatically fail strength and dex saves, and all attacks against them are at advantage. At the end of each of their turns, they can attempt to end the stun with a con save. You also gain your final invocation. For this invocation, Life Drinker adds extra necrotic damage to your packed weapon that equals your charisma modifier. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 16 Warlocks earn our final ability score improvement, Cap Off Charisma. Our final level is level 17 Warlock, and you get your final Arcanum, this time at 9th level, and it's time to get your weirdest power. True Polymorph allows you to transform your enemies into a creature of equal CR or into an object of your choice. You force a wisdom save, and should they fail, they are transformed for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Go with an object and just throw it down a hole or plane shift it into hell. Don't worry, they will not remember you doing that if you choose an object. If you turn them into a creature, turn them into something small, because after 1 hour the change becomes. For your final spell, go nuts and have fun. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 14, Con 16, Intelligence 12, Wisdom 8, Charisma 20. Your total levels are Warlock 17, Sorcerer 3. Let's dive in. You are dangerous. Wielding a great axe with all your add-ons, you're dealing 1d12 plus 12 slashing damage and 1d6 plus 5 necrotic damage. If you decide to only attack once, you can also add 3d8 thunder damage. If you switch out Hex for elemental weapon, you can add another +1 to the attack and damage, and then 2d4 thunder or lightning damage. For ranged attacks, your basic attack can be out to 120 feet, dealing 1d10 force damage. You can fire this 4 times with a single action and can push your targets back. You can also double the distance if you want and just start sniping them. You can also scare your enemies senseless, stun them, banish them to another plane, or turn them into a basketball. Finally, you can teleport across dimensions or battlefields incredibly easily. Downside. Firstly, you have the Spellcaster's Curse, concentration spells. You have a lot of them, which is normal, but it sucks. You have limited resources with 4 Warlock spell slots at level 5, 4 first level spell slots, 2 second level spell slots, a lot of one-off abilities, and 3 sorcery points. That's a lot to keep track of, not impossible, but if you go hard, you'll burn out all the good stuff. Thankfully, you're not dependent on your spell slots for damage or teleportation. Finally, your wisdom save is meh. It's a -1, which makes it +5, but your other main save is +11. Wisdom is highly targeted by spells, so I would get that up if I were you. Head on out and start the hunt for the Darkstalkers, because you'll need to be ready to take your rightful place in the Kai. At least until Jedha kicks your butt or you blow up from absorbing his power. Doesn't look great for you. Maybe you should have thought those plans out more. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon, where you can help decide next week's new character.